everybody? It's Rocco, and we're here with another BOH Podcast episode. Again, I appreciate you taking the time out to listen to my 25 or 30 minutes of nonsense and supporting me in that wonderful endeavor. Hope you're doing well. I hope this finds you safe at home. We're not wearing any pants because that's the way to be. I sit here now on the eve of Christmas Eve. You know, that beautiful holiday where Italians make a complete dent in the fish population in the world. I would love to see a statistic on that. Like the fish population before Christmas Eve and after Christmas Eve. Because Italians definitely go off on the fish. I myself, I'm not fish crazy. I'm not a fan of bacala. Love how it smells when it's being cooked. Not a fan of the taste. I stick with the shrimp, calamari, clams, the basics. I don't get crazy. My favorite part of Christmas Eve and Christmas is seeing the houses these people go to for the holidays. Like, how rich are your families? Like the size of these tables, the size of these windows where you guys post pictures at. Like, I never knew you guys were capable of these things. Like, I'm sitting here with my one window, one little picture, and you guys are in these colossal mansions. Like, do you just have rich cousins that you only see on holidays? Is that how it works? Because I don't see this wealth 364 other days of the year. I don't see it. That's something that always, boggles my mind is these amazing mansions you people have your holidays at. Then, I like to see the dishes and how fancy you guys get. Like, listen, if you're still using, glass plates, glasses, if there's things that are not getting thrown out after you use them, God bless you. Like, really. Like, we said goodbye to actual plates and cups years ago. Like, I can't even remember the last time I actually used an actual plate on a holiday. It's been paper plates, paper cups, paper napkins are always paper. But who knows? As we move on, they might become biodegradable phlegm that you just throw on your face. But, yeah, I mean, you guys, some people out there really do fancy it up for these holidays, and I'm impressed. Very impressed. Little jealous, of course, but impressed. Like to see all these, like, you guys, it's amazing. And then, after Christmas Eve comes Christmas, the day where all the magic happens. The day where we just throw out wrapping paper. Like, seriously, like, listen, I think we need to start finding a different thing, a solution to wrapping gifts. Like, I'm all for bags. Just throw everything in a bag. I mean, I can't wrap for shit anyway. Like, for me, if your present looks like a Tootsie Roll, because I have no idea how to do the corners, that's how you know that I wrapped your gift. Because it's... Yeah, I don't know who is out there teaching people how to rap perfectly, but I didn't learn it. I cannot rap for shit. I always get either too much, too little. It's never just right. I'm always like trying to break the box. Wrapping gifts shouldn't be this hard, so let's just go with bags. Let's reuse them. We said buy the plastic bag. I'll give the tote bag. Like, listen, everyone's getting a ShopRite bag with their gift this year. Not wrapped. Maybe I'll throw a plastic, the bag that you put the onions in at ShopRite. I'll put that over it. And you get to use it after. Not this wrapping paper that you throw it around. And then every single time, someone lost a gift card. There's a gift missing in this abundance, pile of paper that everyone just ripped up. There's something in there that's of value, and then you spend 20 minutes looking for it. Like a needle in a haystack. So we need to find something else besides wrapping paper. We should put that into thought. We're worrying about other things in this world. Let's worry about things that actually affect us, like wrapping paper, because that's annoying. And gifts. I made a video today, just outlining how I had an aunt and uncle who it was always going to be a surprise of what size shirt they got me for Christmas. It's like they walked into the store and said, he's a bigger boy, so what the size do we get? We get large, okay. Because he's a large, we get large. Like, they didn't understand that large is not that big. So it was just, and there was never a receipt. You never knew where the hell they bought the stuff from, so you didn't know where to return it. You just gave it to someone who's smaller than you. But Christmas, I hope everyone enjoys their Christmas coming up. Hope you get everything you want. As I told a lot of people, with these COVID lines for testing, don't get on the wrong line. If you're trying to buy some cannoli, make sure you're on the right line for the bakery and not on the line for a COVID test. Because you don't want to get to the front and they shove something up your nose and then you find out the bakery line has no more cannoli. So, you got to do the right thing. Speaking of these COVID tests, it feels like we're in 2020 early again. Like, did testing become the new toilet paper? That everyone's hoarding these tests? Like, why the hell is everyone getting tested right now? Like, seriously. My goal is to not shove anything up my nose. That's like simple. It's a plain goal for this entire pandemic has been for me not to have anything shoved up my nose. As long as I can, I do not want nor need to be tested for COVID. Knock on wood. My goal is to not have to have this fucking thing shoved up my nose. But why is everyone running to get tested right now? For no reason. I think, like everyone says, you're sheep. Everyone wants to call each other sheep. But right now, tell me, what percentage of the people getting tested right now actually need to get tested? Probably none of them. None. Maybe I would say maybe 15% need to be tested. The rest are just there because everyone else is getting tested. It's like when you're in Manhattan. Like if you're in Manhattan right now. Like if you ever been in Manhattan and you've been on a crosswalk, and it says don't walk, and you're just standing there. We've all been in that situation where that one crazy bastard starts crossing the street, and everyone just follows. Everyone starts crossing the street, even though it still says don't walk, and even though there's about 15 cars coming right across that crosswalk. How many times have you been in Manhattan and witnessed that? So it's not like when people call each other sheep and stuff like that, like it's not offensive because everyone's a sheep in their own way. Maybe in not the way you want to follow, but everyone's a sheep in their own specific way. Whether if you're listening to one side of an argument, you're a sheep for those people. If you listen to the other side, you're a sheep for those people. Everyone's a hypocrite. That's what we are. We're all hypocrites. We're a society of hypocrites. But it's crazy with this COVID now. It just shot right back up right before Christmas. I mean, you could use it as a good excuse if you're going to someone's house that doesn't know how to cook. Because, listen, you could tell someone, hey, listen, the numbers are going up. I'm getting nervous. I don't want to come. So I'm just going to stay home. But when in reality, what you want to say, hey, listen, you never fucking use salt when you cook. There's a thing called pepper. There's a thing called garlic. Use it. Because you don't never use it, I'm just going to stay home and cook myself because you cook for shit. So use that as an excuse. Use COVID as a reason not to go and eat shit food for a day. Relax, Everyone needs to relax. Everyone's arguing so much. It's fucking annoying. Everyone knows that when it comes to COVID, I can't see it without bias. Let's get serious for 5 minutes. But because I lost my mother and my grandmother to COVID, I could never see COVID in the light that everyone else sees it in. I'll always see it connected to them. So the argument's always, going to be whatever I can do to prevent you having to go through what I went through. That's what I'm going to go for. Like, listen, I'll get a fucking needle stuck in my ass every month for the rest of my life. That means that you guys don't have to say goodbye to your mother over the phone where she can't answer you because she has a tube down her throat. So if I can avoid that for you, I'll get a needle in my ass every month for the rest of my life. But what I just want everyone to take away from this, and that's 3 minutes. Like, listen, I get it. There's probably like 6 of you who listen to this thing. So it's not like I'm reaching the masses here, but remember what you say during this pandemic. That's what I want people to understand. Remember what you say, remember what you post, because there's a small percentage of people that will argue with you, right there on the post. And there's a small percentage of people who will delete you, block you. I'm not of that type. I'm not sensitive enough that I don't want to see it. Like, I'll see it. I don't care. It's fine. It might trigger my emotions a little bit, but I'm not going to react. I'm not going to change anyone's mind, so I don't argue with you. But what I want people to understand is that when this pandemic ends, and it will end, it has to. I don't see it going on forever. I mean, if it does, it does. But in the end, whenever it ends, and we do go into this normal, when we walk away from this, there will be relationships that were burned, ruined, because of what people did during it. Like, I'll give you examples. I won't name names, but there are people who I'd be happy if I never saw again, simply because of how excessive they were with what they posted during the pandemic. Like a comment here, comment there. You make a joke, it's fine. I'm okay. I'm not that sensitive. But if it's every day I have to see you on Twitter liking an anti-vax thing, liking COVID's overhyped thing, liking COVID's not serious thing. Like, if it's every single day, I'm not going to want to see you. Just because you're like this. It's just the negativity. We all say that we don't need negativity in our lives, yet we surround ourselves with negative people because we don't have the guts to say goodbye to them. And that's what I think we should start doing. We should take that from this pandemic is, listen, when we come away from it, you can't have this negativity around. You can't have people who will knowingly rub like the shit in your face. Because that's someone who's not thinking of anyone other than themselves. And that's what this whole thing is about. The whole pandemic is, and what no one has really understood is that it's less about your personal situation and more about what your situation can do to someone else. It's not about you personally getting sick. It's about you getting sick and the chance of you infecting someone else. And no one really makes that connection because they can't get out of their own bubble. They can't understand that, hey, listen, I might hurt someone. Like, listen, you're free to do whatever the hell you want. You're not free to hurt me. There's consequences to your actions. I honestly wish I could do whatever I could to have saved my mother. And listen, I'm going to tell you from my own perspective. I know exactly who killed my mother. I know her name. I know her family. I've known her since I was younger. How do you think that eats me up inside every single day, knowing the person who killed my mother by infecting her with COVID gets to celebrate Christmas with her family every year, and I don't get to celebrate it with my mother anymore? I wonder every day if she's there thinking of the life she took away. Because in reality, she is a murderer. Like, yes, that's a little exaggerated, but in the essence that it's not like she was asymptomatic and went to work and accidentally gave it to my mother. She went to work sick. Knowingly, with symptoms, went to work, infected my mother. So every day, there has to be maybe 1 or 2 minutes of a day where I wonder if this woman thinks of what her actions did to my mother. And that's the thing that people don't get. And that's where I'm coming from when I argue with around. I don't argue. I just tell you what I think, and then if you think otherwise, God bless you. I'm not going to change your mind. Like I said, I'm not changing anyone's mind in regards to COVID. I'm just telling you where I'm coming from. Where I'm coming from is every day I have to know that. I have to know that my mom's not here anymore because someone went to work sick. So just remember that. Like, you are spending your days angry at politicians, angry at the media, which, listen, politicians are pieces of shit all the way, across the board, down each aisle. I hate all politicians. I'll vote during elections, but I do not stick with those people because I know they would drop me for anything. They don't even know my name, so why the hell am I going to waste my energy arguing for them? They're not going to argue for me. Which I think what everyone needs to understand is that you're hurting the people you know when you do these arguments. Like, these politicians aren't like, hey, Bobby over there has been arguing with his cousins on my behalf. Bobby's a guy. He doesn't even fucking know you exist, the politicians. So what are you arguing with your cousins for? Those are the people who were at your birthday, at your communion, who didn't pay enough for their plate at your wedding. These are the people who actually had real effects on your life. But that's it. That's what I just want people to realize, that everyone has an experience when it comes to the pandemic. It's been 2 years. So everyone has an opinion, an experience, and that's where they're coming from. And I just want people to understand that at the end of the day, when we do walk away from this, people are going to remember what you did during it. You know, I'm not saying that everyone has to think one way. What I'm saying is that everyone should remember the people they actually care about and be mindful of that. Now, moving on from COVID, we're going to go on to something I was thinking of the other day, because something popped up on my screen, and let's talk about Kim Kardashian and Pete Davidson. What a segue, going from COVID to that's spreading around to Kim Kardashian, who apparently is spreading around as well. So she's basically with Pete Davidson now, which I like to think, when I first started out in comedy, Pete Davidson was also, he was a little more experienced than me because he started earlier than I did. But we had been performing on some of the same shows. You know, and to think, we went from performing on the same stages to him dating Kim Kardashian, and I'm doing a podcast that probably 4 people listen to. So, suck on that lemon. But here's the thing. I'm not surprised that Pete Davidson is able to get someone like Kim Kardashian, like Ariana Grande, and whoever else he dates. Because he's from Staten Island. And he has that Brooklyn-Staten Island connection. I always say, anyone from Brooklyn, from the area that I grew up in, Brooklyn, Staten Island, you put them anywhere else in the world, they're able to survive, because we have a way about us. You know, we can talk to anyone. We can make an impact when we do talk to you. It's just because, and I think a lot of it has to do with that negativity that I spoke about earlier. We have had our entire lives everyone wishing worse on us. Listen, no one in Brooklyn supports you. Like, listen, I post videos my my entire comedy career, I posted videos. I could probably list on one hand how many times the guys I grew up with have shared those videos. They'll share every stranger's videos, but they'll never share one of mine. And that's what it is growing up in Brooklyn, Staten Island. Everyone wants you to fail. So you have to grow up with it like a chip on your shoulder, basically. And then Pete Davidson makes it big. Great for him. He's a nice kid. I just remember that everyone used to tease him because he was so young compared to everyone else. He's gone through stuff. And now he's doing well. He's with Kim Kardashian, and I think a lot of it has to do with that personality. That's a Staten Island, Brooklyn personality. And if you have that personality, you are attractive in a certain way. I believe that if you take a guy from Brooklyn and a guy from Wichita and put them up next to like a celebrity like model, the guy from Brooklyn to Staten Island will get that girl 9 times out of 10. Just because the way we talk, the way we are, the way we grew up, we've always been in competition for girls. Like now I'm living up here in Dutchess County over here, and I see people hang out at ShopRite. Like, who the hell does that? But that's what they do. You can't hit on a girl in ShopRite. In Brooklyn, what it used to be is you used to go to, like I grew up on 77th Street and 18th Avenue. We had everyone there. So you came to my block, and that was a hangout spot. And whether there was 25 of us or 10 of us, and if there was girls there or not, you had to stick out. Because there were just so many people there, there was competition all over, and that's what it was. Like me, the only reason I ever stuck out because I was funny, but I was also the fattest one in the group. So everyone always remembered me because I was fat. So I always ended up being the best friend. But that's why I had to be my wife online, because I had to let the personality shine through before they saw the jelly rolls and things like that. So that's why I honestly think Pete Davidson has Kim Kardashian. If Pete Davidson was not from Staten Island, if he did not, hang out in Brooklyn too, because he went to Severian for a year. He only went to Severian for a year, but if you listen to them, they would swear he was, the spokesperson of the school. But yeah, if he didn't grow up in this area, he would have never had Kim Kardashian. But God bless him, and that shows you, if you're from Brooklyn, Staten Island, if you're from that area. I don't know about right now. I don't know if they make them like they made us anymore. There's something about us. And I think that's what it does. And honest to God, it's great. That's why I love being from Brooklyn. I wish Brooklyn was still the same as it was, because I don't think everyone would want to leave it. But what I always tell people is not that people left Brooklyn. It's that Brooklyn didn't want us anymore. And that's the truth, because unless your parents were millionaires, there's no way you were staying in Brooklyn. On that note, I have to go make some big ziti for Christmas, because I'm not going to be home tomorrow, so I have to make it now. So I have to get going. On that note, I wish you all a very beautiful Christmas Eve. I'll talk to you in 2022, because I won't be able to do an episode next week because my kids are home. And there won't be enough silence to do that. But thank you for listening, all 6 of you. We'll talk soon. God bless you. I love you all. State buon.